riff on it.
We're just gonna let it go, Seth. You know, it's been a while.
Riff on it,
folks. Welcome back to another episode of Jamin's Daily. It's been a while because we were doing a number of things. We were having technical difficulties. We had to upgrade, and we've done that. And my guest, you can hear him stuttering in the background, is the one and only Seth Caylor. Are you sure it's left and right?
Well, the one that says on the right says program, right?
Yes.
And then preview on the left. So you can actually load anything into the preview on the left-hand side.
So the program is what's going to show. All right.
You could actually load the browser and then switch back and forth between your live and the browser.
Seth's doing some producing on air as we speak. He's dropping knowledge, and it's been a year, Seth. It's been a year since we tried to. I told you, I said, Seth, I'm going to do a podcast. I need your help.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember what I told you to? The hardest thing is just to keep doing it.
And a year later, I have 66 episodes.
Really? That's pretty good.
But I haven't done one in almost probably a month. I think in the month of this May, the previous month, was the worst or my least productive month in the entire year.
Well, look at it this way. How many weeks are there in a year? 52.
54?
52.
52?
Something like that.
52?
50, whatever.
There's 52.
You're like 10 over that. So you've done one a month or one a week. I can't even add either.
Yeah, one a week. I think that's impressive.
I mean, that's what averages out to. You probably had some little specials in there. I really like the ones where you're just driving around, man, where you're recording yourself in your truck.
Know.
Those are fun.
I can do that every single day, but it's too easy.
Oh, come on.
It's too easy. That's what everybody does. I'm trying to do a real podcast with production. Okay, anybody can just do riff for 30 seconds on their iPhone.
Well, that's the other thing that you said at the very beginning. I remember very clearly. You're like, "Hey, we're doing this, and it's gonna the stuff's gonna get better. We're gonna get better stuff." Now you got this nice camera. You got this good setup. We're not running off an 18-year-old Mac.
Seth, if we could, I wish we're gonna go back. Seth did say this, folks at home, all right, and we're gonna create a special. We're gonna have a special here soon where, Seth, we're going to have we have 5 to 10 hours of content that never made the internet, the interwebs.
Nice.
It's just on Google Drive. No, it is on the internet somewhere. It's like on Google Drive somewhere.
You mean our very first practice stuff?
The practice
That's
stuff.
right. We need to put that together.
What I'm saying, we can do the practice stuff, and then when they look at it now, just the quality of the video and the sound, 10 times better. It's night and day.
It is.
And if we could do a compilation of that, and then on top, people see the episodes after, it's just gonna be like, wow, this is. We followed through on what we said we were gonna do, Seth.
I know.
You know what the next thing we're gonna do?
Yep.
Facebook Live. We're gonna do a live Facebook Live here. I want to say in the next 30 days.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a Facebook Live event.
I think you should give something away too.
And we're gonna give something away.
Yes.
Great idea. That is a great idea. What do you think I should give away? Maybe a TV?
Oh, I was gonna say like a Sage Choice shirt, but
no, we gotta go big on the first Facebook Live giveaway. Dude, we gotta get lots of people.
All right.
So I'm thinking about like a $300 TV, like maybe like a 40-inch
or maybe some nice headphones they can listen to the podcast on or something.
That is amazing idea. I'm gonna get them some Beats, $300 Beats or something.
Something great, yeah.
Lots of people will tune in. You have to tune in.
I will.
You have to. This is what's gonna happen. You're gonna have to tune in, and while we're live, you're gonna have to comment while we're live.
Exactly.
Things like that to be entered.
That's right. We got to know.
Yeah, well, I'm already thinking. So that's one of the next goals when we're talking about moving forward in the podcast and bringing new kinds of content opportunities to what we can do.
You know what's funny, though, that I just realized looking at you lovingly across this camera right now?
Yes, what?
We still haven't changed these damn headphones.
Yeah, we've been using
the blue-gray.
Dude, the headphones have lasted the entire time, Seth. You're absolutely right. You know why? Because they're cheap, but they work.
They do. They sound delicious.
They sound great. And they're comfortable enough.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we don't wear them for 4 hours straight. Maybe we'll wear them for 4 hours. Maybe we want something a little more padded, but hey, it works.
I think it's good.
But I would like to maybe for Christmas, Seth.
Yep.
Well, my birthday's
Yes.
a little bit about 6 weeks away.
That's right.
So headphones.
Yeah.
That would be a great gift. But hey,
Absolutely.
my son James is 4 years old, and he's learning how to ride a bike.
I know. He showed me over and over and over.
And I'm gonna put a video.
Yes.
Enter in the video.
Yes.
I'm gonna put the video
Let's
in.
watch it.
And we can watch him. Oh, here, little boy.
Well, you know what was awesome about that is that when I came over and I told him I saw the video, he wanted to show me real bad. But that's not the most awesome thing. The most awesome thing is that he went down the driveway, turned left, and then power slid, like BMX, like that, and then looked back to us like, yeah.
Like James he's so much like me because he always wants an audience. So
No way.
The coolest thing about the bike is that he wants people to watch him.
Absolutely.
So he was just showing off because
Okay.
he gets it from his
Gotta
mother.
show.
He gets it from his mother. Big show off. But here's the thing, Seth. So as I'm teaching him how to ride a bike, and I'm having to chase him, basically, keep up with him, jog. Now that he's actually riding it well,
Right.
I literally have to run. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I need a bike.
Yep.
So the thing about it was we bought the bike that he has right now. My mom bought it at Goodwill for $5.
Hey. Perfect, bro.
So she brings it home. There's nothing wrong with this bike. It's a $5 Huffy. It was probably $60 at Walmart. It's in good shape. It's not rusted or nothing. It's just the tires are flat because it's probably been sitting in somebody's garage for 3 years or something. Okay, so I take it to Bike World RGV. It used to be the pedal for folks in Corpus Christi.
Right.
The pedal on Everhart. Now it's called Bike World RGV. I take it there. They charge me $10 for labor, $10 for they had to replace one of the tubes. So for like $22 plus the $5 for like $27.
Yep.
I have his bike, and it's just the perfect size. Never once, no training wheels. We went straight from the glider. He was using that glider. He's using that glider, and he got really good on the glider. So I knew when I bought the bike, he didn't need the training wheels. He already had the balance down. He just needed to pedal.
Yeah. My other brother-in-law, John Scott owns a bike shop, and he was selling those little gliders. That was like the most genius thing to teach balance and all that stuff. Whatever, they just push it with their feet and then coast.
And once I saw him actually coasting on it, picking his feet up, and then coasting and balancing, I knew he could ride a bike. So sure enough, we bought that bike. I want to say in the second session, the first session we did, he was kind of scared and getting frustrated because those little kid bikes, when you push back on it stops.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
When the brake is the pushback. So when he was pedaling, sometimes he would lose his foot, and then he'd push back on it, and he kept on stopping himself.
And you use the most dad line ever too.
What bad line?
If you're gonna fall in the grass.
Yeah, that was cool. People love that. I'm hoping people.
I think everybody tells everybody that.
Hopefully people get the reference. That's also a George Lopez joke.
Oh, see, I missed that one.
There's a George Lopez Mexican parents telling their kids, "Fall in the grass." Mijito, don't fall in the grass. Because they don't buy the. I guess we don't buy our I never wore a helmet.
No,
my mother never
man.
told me to wear a helmet. She
She
didn't even tell me to fall in the grass. I was left to my own devices, bro. I had to figure it out for myself. But I am going to buy a helmet.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to go fairly hardcore in my BMXing. So I bought a bike, folks. I ended up buying a bike. Yeah. And while I was at the bike store getting the tires fitted or aired up for James's bike, I see all these bikes there, right? So I'm like a kid in a candy store, right? And so I see this bike. It's the coolest bike. It's right here. We're gonna put it
Childhood
on here. Here it goes, like flashbacks of this is what I wanted. But my parents were like, my parents were never gonna they're no way gonna spend like $300-400 on a bike. Yeah. Are they like, you kidding me? $400 for a bike?
Exactly.
They bought me the $100 Walmart bike.
Yeah. And it worked. And
it worked just fine. Right. But
you, in your heart of hearts.
In the heart of hearts.
I always wanted that.
And now that I have it, it's like it's eye candy. I just look at it. I just like, I can't believe this is mine. I can't believe I have this bike. It's so cool, folks. When you see it, you got to agree.
Yeah, I do.
And folks like, comment, share. Tell me if you think the bike's cool or sucks. It's a Sunday is the name of the brand, and they got a whole line. Now it's like my new hobby.
Yeah,
it's like I have a lineup of all these other bikes I want to buy now. You know.
Nice. What else is going on? Other than that, James riding the bike's cool. We had a good Memorial Day weekend this past weekend.
Yeah, we barbecued.
We did.
Y'all came over?
Yeah, we swam in the pool, got a little sunburn. I did. Some whiter than white, but
yeah,
got a little sunburn. And it was good. It was a good weekend. Best weekend I've had in a long time, to tell you the truth.
Oh, well, Seth, I'm honored because I got to share some of that time with you, which may or may not be one of the reasons why it was so great, right? maybe, but
I'm gonna say yes. No, I'm just kidding.
But I just want to say, Seth, starting on this podcast, because this episode is supposed to be like a relaunch.
There we go.
This is a relaunch. Let everybody know, guys. We're gonna put out another 60 episodes this year.
Let's go.
Okay, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the goal. We're gonna do another 60 for sure, if not more.
Yeah.
I already have a number of guests lined up. So, folks at home, stay tuned. We're gonna try to. The first year was kind of this is a rookie year. We were just learning the ropes, kind of figuring out things that we wanted to do. We did movie reviews. We did
those were fun.
Headlines. We need to do more of that. I really think you do. But what I'm going to try to keep on a schedule for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Jamin's Daily. Maybe we made the initial mistake of Jamin's Daily. It should have been like Jamin's at some point.
Yeah, but it's a fun story to tell later on. You're like, yeah, man, I was going to go in. I was going to do it every day. And then, they say, why is it called Jamin's Daily? You don't do it anything. I had big ambitions.
Yeah.
I was going to go hard.
Well, it was because, daily, here's the thing, though. It still is Jamin's Daily because we're going to have enough content out there where you can listen to it daily. We're going to have, we're going to have Jamin's Daily clips.
Yeah.
You know how Joe Rogan has the JRE clips and stuff?
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing. So once I got all this, we probably have enough content now to do some clips.
Yeah. I
just need to pay somebody to scour hours and hours to find little gems.
We need an intern.
Yes. JaminsDaily@gmail.com. If you're interested in watching all the episodes, finding 30-second clips.
There you go.
90-second clips.
The best of.
Send us an email, Seth. Tell the folks. JaminsDaily@gmail.com. But so again, this is the relaunch. We're trying to figure what I was going to get at is that we're going to try to maybe perhaps implement a tighter schedule.
Okay.
Like Tuesday and Thursdays for sure. Like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Mm-hmm. Rain. Sleep.
Can we rename the podcast to Jamin's Bi-Weekly?
Jamin's bi-weekly, right? No, Jamin's. No, I want to be bi-curious though. Like Jamin's bi-curious, not bi-weekly, bi-curious. Because then it can be whatever.
Yeah, then you know what? Clickbait. There you go.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm thinking we need to. One of the things I'm going to part of the show, I think, going forward in the production, being more thoughtful of what we're doing, is two things. One, I need to pay to get a couple of maybe as many as 5 generic thumbnails. Because the thumbnails on my YouTube or the thumbnails that we use on Facebook is just like a screen capture of some rant, And if you look at the big time YouTube creators, they have custom thumbnails.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that's not cheap. It's hard to do. And I'm not about I figured that would probably be hard to learn, to teach myself. Okay. So, and maybe I could. We're trying to look. I didn't teach myself, but to how to do this, you taught me what I can learn how to do.
Yeah.
So somebody can teach me how to do thumbnails.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to create better thumbnails.
Okay. I'll show you in about 5 minutes.
For the videos. Okay.
Okay.
And that's really about it. That's the main thing. One thing at a time. Thumbnails, better schedule.
And good content. That's what
And good
talk. Good talk.
I think that's what we're gonna do. We need to make sure. Remember, we were having this hard time with the iTunes. It wasn't showing our entire list. Yeah. We had a number of, I think, distribution problems that we can work on.
Yes, that's true.
To perhaps improve things.
Yeah, and I didn't stick with that too much, and I probably should have, but I didn't because you pretty much just switched over to YouTube. And so I was like, you know, what? You know,
but I'm still putting on I still put it on Podbean. You know what's weird? There's times I've gone to random like podcast aggregators, and we'll show up.
Yeah, once you get them out there, they hit the all the feeds or whatever.
Yeah, they're little bots, little algorithms, and the bots go finding them. I found them on some obscure podcast aggregators where we'll show up.
Yeah,
if you Google
that's
it,
good.
Or if you search it.
We could be huge in like Denmark or something.
I just want to be huge somewhere. Freaking Mars, okay? It can be aliens. That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah, and we still have a sponsor. Yes.
Sage Choice Insurance Agency, folks. We can run the sponsor now. If you need a quote for your home or auto insurance or business, windstorm now, flood, folks, it's been raining like crazy. Flood insurance. Give us a call. Sage Choice Insurance. 361-400-2411. You can go to quotefromjamin.com. Quotefromjamin.com and 5G, the coolest online forums.
Yeah.
All the commercials you're seeing about these insurance companies wanting you to go online to try to get a quote, you can do that with us, and it's the same kind of process, but local.
Smooth experience.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create.
That's right. User experiences. That's it. There are entire jobs built on that. I've been working with this guy from Microsoft in my job, and his title is Modern Workplace Experience Creator or something like that. Like, what the hell, man? I want. That just sounds cool.
So what's he tell you?
He's like a customer service manager, or whatever. It's like a CSM, but he does more than. I guess he does more than that, or I don't know, or he just got a cool job title. But
I want to say the job title in business. So all my folks in business out there, you have employees.
Yeah,
I would say one of the simplest things you can do to improve morale is give cool job titles. Because people, it's one of those, it's like one of those badge of honors that cost nothing.
And you take ownership.
So if you give people a cool job title, maybe they'll run with it. You know.
Absolutely.
That happens. One time we gave somebody a cool job title, and they did run with it. And you know how they ran with it? They ran with it for a better job somewhere. They ran with it with a better job somewhere else. Too. You know, but hey, I'm not mad. Good for them.
Yeah.
Really good for them.
Well, you know what's cool too? I know that now that your dad works for you guys, you should give him some cool title too, like and put it on a little business card or something. Come on.
He does have a business card, and I think he does have a title, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to look at it.
Hey, and he's been a guest on the show, too.
He coached Keno Lemon.
That's right.
You know, Seth, you tell me, since you're a producer of Jamin's Daily, I was thinking about doing a series with my dad and trying to see if I can get Coach Basie, some of these local coaches on.
Yeah.
And do like a long form 3-hour interview, because they'll just go on and on and on.
It's funny as.
And then we get them in together. Oh my God, that would be insane. Also.
And if there's Crown Royal involved too.
Oh, if we get them slightly drunk.
Yeah, get even better.
But I was thinking about doing that, and then I was also gonna get my mom on, do like the coaches' wives. They have crazy. Sometimes they're sitting there telling me stories. So I think people might like that. I think there might be a little niche. Yeah. For that, and I think on those specific episodes, I'll advertise real hard with like a specific keywords that maybe might garner some interest. So we'll see. So that's the other thing, you know, when we're looking at the views, it's disappointing. But I'm not in it for the views, folks. I'm not in it. I'm not trying to get I'm not trying to get famous, because you know, if I got famous, Seth, it would go to my head. Okay,
No
I'm
way.
not the
No way.
I'm not the right person to be famous. Okay, because if I got famous, I would just it wouldn't work well probably. So I don't want to be too famous.
No,
I
there
want to
you
be
go. Okay.
a local celebrity.
There you go. Corpus
Okay.
famous.
Corpus famous, exactly. So we're just gonna do
Whatever we want. That's the fun part about this. Is as long as you do what you want and you talk about the things you want to talk about, it's
and
fun.
we're gonna be genuine. We're not gonna fake it.
It's an outlet. It's an outlet. It's an artistic outlet.
It's an artistic outlet, and I know, if, like you were saying, we're just gonna keep at it, folks.
Yeah.
We expect some more new episodes coming out.
Yep.
We're going to, I think on the next episode is going to be a
Got somebody coming in?
some Yahoo headlines.
Ah, yes.
Solo episode with
There you go.
layout.
All right.
But I do have at least 2 or 3. I think I get at least two guest episodes in this week.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna do that. But I do know that what I was getting the most feedback on some of the interviews too.
Yeah.
But with the guest episodes, but I was getting a lot of feedback on the Yahoo headline, the Rift, the hot takes.
Yeah.
When I was just doing hot takes on the on the internet, whatever I'm reading, and now that we have a better computer where I can bring in and work it better, that's gonna work 10 times better.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna work that hard.
Yeah.
We're gonna work that real hard.
Yeah, because that's what people just want to hear. Your someone's opinion on
Someone's
stuff,
take
whatever.
on something, right?
And the fun part about being a listener for a podcast is you pick a side. Basically,
Mhm.
you're like, that guy's crazy, or that guy's
you
kind of knows what he's talking about.
There's a lot of confirmation bias that goes on with podcasting. So you listen to the people who you agree with, right?
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah,
That's how that works.
That's how it works.
You want to listen to somebody who's like, oh yeah, they're right.
Right.
They're right. You're
Exactly.
right. You listen to somebody the whole time, it's like, I disagree.
Sure.
You couldn't
Yeah.
wouldn't work.
Yeah, and in this genre of podcast too, because there's plenty of what is it?
Like crime.
The crime ones are big, man. Yeah.
My Lucy, my what do I call her? I always have a strange. I don't know what to call my employee. I feel weird when I say my employee. That just sounds
coworker.
lame. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, my coworker. So Lucy, my coworker, she listens to long form.
Scripted stuff.
Long form scripted podcasting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, isn't that just the radio? How is that? Isn't that just
It's
a
like a
radio?
TV show on
It's like a radio.
Yeah.
Like they used to do radio shows like that.
Exactly.
So it's not podcasting.
Yeah.
This is a radio show,
Right.
in my opinion. But
Well,
what do I know?
and then that's when people used to ask me about podcasting and stuff. That's how I would explain it. It's like a radio show that's recorded.
It's a radio show that's
basically.
on, yeah.
Some of them, but it's changed. It's morphed. And what's funny is it still kept the podcast name. There were a bunch of people who tried to change it to webcast and netcast and all this stuff, whatever. But because Apple started.
Sure. No, I. It's funny that you mentioned that because there was something very specific that I can't remember what I was watching that was mentioning that.
Yeah.
You know what it was? I think it was on a Joe Rogan episode when he had Tom Green. And Tom Green was an innovator in internet content.
He was.
Okay, he was such an innovator. I mean, in public access, and the internet that he got what do you call it? He was discovered of sorts, and then became did stuff.
Yeah.
And his whole deal was that he created a whole content house, pimped it out so it was basically a production studio in his own home.
Yeah.
And that everything they recorded, they kept on their own personal server because it was all about maintaining control of this content.
Yeah.
And we'd put it out on my website.
Right.
He didn't have the foresight to be like, oh, let's put it all on YouTube, and
Right.
you have this platform.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
shit, no, wait, what were we saying? So Joe Rogan is telling like, dude, Tom, you were ahead of the game, and you were already basically podcasting, but putting it on the internet, so it's not podcasting.
Right.
So then that's when Joe Rogan, they started talking about when podcasting came around, and they started mentioning how the name, and that a couple times when they were trying to launch shows, everybody was like let's call it the Joe Rogan something. You can't be the Joe Rogan podcast because everybody just didn't like the name, but they couldn't.
Right.
You couldn't change. Everybody just at some point was like, it's called a podcast.
Yeah. It's funny. I keep mentioning Joe Rogan. So I recently, in my quest just to watch TV, because I've streamed now, and I know you do too. Yes. No cable.
We don't know cable. Cut the cord.
But anyway, so on HBO Max, I started rewatching all of the Parts Unknown with Anthony Bourdain. Great show, man. Fantastic show. But it's in like season 6 or whatever. He's going to Wyoming, out in the country, to go pheasant hunting.
Okay.
And he goes with Joe Rogan.
Wow.
It's Anthony Bourdain, Joe Rogan, and then these two conservation guys or whatever, and they're just walking around shooting pheasants or whatever.
Joe Rogan's
it was
a big
cool.
player.
No, yeah, and then they sat around a campfire, and they made a
slight technical difficulties.
There we go. We'll just cut that.
We'll just
through the magic of editing.
The magic of editing.
You guys didn't even realize that something just happened.
But you were telling me, so they're
but it was just funny. How funny how you talk about Joe Rogan, but then I just saw him, and I was like, "Hey,
oh, dude, Rogan's everywhere, man. Good for him. Good for him."
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned streaming and how we just recently cut the cord.
Oh yeah,
because our the Uverse bill, including the internet, so our cable and the internet was going to be $225 because it had been $165 because we were getting some kind of like package deal, some kind of special that lasts for 2 years, something. Then it was over. And in most cases, if you call them and you tell them you're going to cancel something, they'll give you 3 months, or they'll be like, oh, you know what, it'll only be. It's not going to be 160. It'll be 180. It won't be 225, but it'll be 185. But we're going to throw in HBO.
Right.
You know, like they always try to work with you.
Yeah.
This time they were like, go take a hike. So we were like, forget this. We're not going to do it. We just kept the internet. So the internet's like $50.
Yep.
By itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we went with YouTube TV.
Yes.
And then we use HBO Max. Hulu.
Disney Plus,
Prime.
Right.
Did we say Netflix?
And Netflix. Get between all those.
And then I also have ESPN Plus.
There you go, sports. Got it covered.
And I have Apple TV Plus.
Got it covered.
Or just Apple Plus. What's it called? Apple TV Plus?
Yeah, something like that.
There's not a lot. The only Mythic Quest is the only thing we're watching on there. They have a show, Vice Principals, pretty funny too.
Yeah.
But when you look at that, so it's $70, $50. Like we're like at right now, if we had to pay for everything, which we don't, because everybody shares passwords on the internet. Don't say that, right? Can we say that on you? Can I post this on YouTube now? Probably not. But hey, YouTube, I'm a YouTube subscriber. YouTube TV,
there you go.
Paying customer, folks. So I know they probably have an algorithm.
It's still cheaper than all the cable.
Way cheaper.
Yeah.
Way cheaper, and you know. The problem is, Seth, is my 74-year-old father has a hard time. People who know, when you use, if there's an alternative, maybe you can tell me, Seth. But folks at home, maybe if you know, you can send me an email, JamensDaily at gmail.com. The Apple TV remote.
Yeah.
I love it. It's the coolest thing ever.
Right, because we're used to that.
Okay,
kind of stuff,
okay, but for the older generations, he struggles mightily.
Yeah.
Just can't get it on where he wants. He doesn't have the dexterity in the thumb anymore to.
Yeah, well, I gotta say you don't have to be 74 to not get it, because your sister never figured it out.
They couldn't do it. She was not 74 years old.
Not 74.
There's and it's not just that too. It's like not they want, when you look at the Apple TV remote, the simplicity. Is instead of, there's not a back button or a return button,
right? Because
once you learn that the menu has multiple functions,
right?
It works, right? Yeah. Or like the pause and the play button are the same button.
Yeah.
So when that was one of the things I was having to explain to my dad, I was like, he's like, where's the pause button, the play button? I was like, they're the same button. You hit it once, it plays. You hit it again, it pauses.
Right.
You don't need two separate buttons like on a remote. But like if you go, but then he'll show me like, look at this remote.
Right.
It's got a pause on it. I was like, yes, it does. But that remote literally has 30 buttons on it. This one has like 4.
Right.
And it does the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, that would have been funny to record. I gotta tell you.
No, you want to funny to record, and I'm going to put this up. I have the image. My mom, and what I wanted to tell the folks at home, maybe they can relate, is that, you know, that moment when you realize your parents have a meme game. You know what I'm saying? When your parents have a meme game, you know, like when your parents are making custom memes to text you is when it's like too much. Okay, so my mom goes from within 2 years having a flip phone to having crab hand from watching too much content on her phone to making custom memes to email me about jokes. Okay, making jokes with memes. So it's like, I know there's got to be other people out there who have had this epiphany where it's like,
I know
my parents they're better at this than me.
Yeah, it starts with emojis. And then it goes on from there, but that's cool.
Oh yeah, the emoji is like the gateway drug of social media.
It
is. You start off with the
smiley face.
Maybe it's the LOL. I think the LOL.
Kissy face.
It's the LOL, then the emojis.
Yeah.
Then it leads to custom memes.
That's funny.
Photoshop. You know, Seth, let me ask you this. You know those people who? I know some people. I'm not gonna name any names, but. There's people who, whenever I see a photo of them on the internet, it's never just, you know, back in the day, before technology, if somebody saw a photo of you, it was a photo of you.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right?
No. I know
now, when you see photos, there's people that every photo they put, and they know that other people know. This is where it's weird. It's just acceptable.
Right.
It's the new norm.
Right.
It's that
filtered.
It's filtered the heck up, right?
Yeah.
It's got stars, got different things, and it makes it look nice.
Yeah,
but it's like at some point, and I like that. It's like I want it to be nice. I want to see you at your best.
Yeah.
But at some point, people do maybe want to see a photo of you and what you really look like. This is what this is supposed to be about to some degree.
I think of it as like a socially acceptable catfish. Right, catfishing. Like catfishing. This is a picture of me 15 years ago, and then you meet me, and I'm like, right. Yeah. But now it's like, you know, sparkles and all that stuff, whatever. But it's okay. Like
you know,
then you meet them, and you go, yeah, okay.
You know where this is going, though, Seth? You know where this is really going?
Where is this going?
This is gonna go to augmented reality, augmented VR. So augmented virtual reality, or whatever it's called, like the because if you're in an augmented reality, you're still living in there. But then when you look at this person, that augmented part is going to be this glowy crap that's all over them that makes them appear nicer.
Yeah. And if it's like built into your glasses or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then the power goes out and you're like, what happened to you?
It's not going to be, they're not going to call it beer goggles anymore. It's not beer goggles. It's going to be AR goggles. It's
there you go.
Oh, you look so good with my AR goggles on. But then I took them off. That's so sad. That's where we're going, though, folks.
Yep.
That's where we're going. Well, guys, Seth.
Cool.
I want to thank you for coming in and showing me a couple, producing, getting some things set up on the technical end again.
Yeah, well, you figured out a lot of stuff.
And we did. I think we could. I think that was a team effort. It was a team effort pre-production.
Yeah.
And so now, folks at home, you can expect some episodes because I got everything set up the way I need it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put them out there.
Rock and roll.
And just want to thank you for joining us once again here on Jamin's Daily. Don't forget that our sponsor is Sage Choice Insurance. You can give us a call at 361-400-2411. Auto, home.
Quote from Jamin.com.
Quote from Jamin.com. Multiple ways.
All over the interwebs.
Facebook, YouTube, like, share, comment.
Hey, that needs to be another goal too. Because we do have jamesdaily.com. We just haven't.
We haven't worked on it yet. And
but we will. Now it's been a year.
I want to tie in jamesdaily.com in with sagechoiceinsurance.com because I have an elevated on my agency management system and my software program.
All right.
They run that for me, and I got like a upgraded package where they can like pimp it out even more. So folks, stick with us. Why, Seth? Stick with us because the best is yet to come.